really viral, which changed my life. I even dropped out of college after my second year. And this is weird. I don't actually think I've ever said this publicly. It is mediocrity, but again, not in a negative way. Like, I'm getting nervous just thinking about it. The most tragic thing on the planet is people not doing something that they don't even know that they would be great at if they just went for it. Still takes me back. It's done, but I guess it's never really over just because it's... All right, let's jump into this. I'm gonna do my best not to overthink this at all. Pretty much all the videos that I do, they're usually scripted. I usually have a teleprompter out to the side if I'm sitting down and talking, or they're more journey and experience-based videos, and they go through a ton of editing to get done, and I don't want this to be like that. I want this to be where you get to know me, and I get to show you who I am, and then we can connect on a deeper level and just, I don't know, just get to know each other better. So without overthinking this too much, my name is Omar Zaki. I don't even know what to say. I guess like the main overview things. I was born in Dubai. Then I moved to the United States when I was 6. My father stayed over in Dubai, which is really cool. I got to travel a bunch internationally from Virginia to Dubai to visit my dad. But then growing up in Virginia, just outside of Washington, D.C., and then when I turned 21, I moved to Los Angeles, which is where I'm currently living now, and I work in entertainment. I work as a stuntman. I work in video games, doing motion capture for a lot of really cool projects. And man, I'm working on a project right now that I am truly so excited to tell you about when I can, but I can't because, you know, the game isn't out yet. We're not done with the game. So yeah, I work in stunts. I work in motion capture in video games. I do commercials. I make my own YouTube videos, of course, where I've done videos where I've like Power Ranger parkour, because I parkour was my main thing for about a decade, and getting into parkour is what ultimately opened up the door for me to move to Los Angeles and find a way working in entertainment here. So yes, stunts, motion capture in video games, parkour, make my own YouTube videos, action short films, general just filmmaking now. I've been editing and just making videos for over a decade now, and I've kind of unintentionally turned into a filmmaker, which is awesome. It's super cool that I've unintentionally developed that set of skills, which allows me to make some really, really fun and cool projects with my friends. God, what else do I do? I am a very happy, positive person, if you can't tell. And that's actually something a little weird. I have found myself unintentionally like beginning to dampen that side of myself, whether it is for, you know, if you're trying to network or connect with a certain professional person here in Hollywood, then you need to pretend to be a certain way or to be maybe more serious. But I'm realizing that is not who I am, and thus I want to prove to myself that I don't have to dampen my positive, exciting, optimistic attitude and can still go just as far as people who maybe conform and get really, really serious. Because like, I'm serious when I need to be serious, and then if I don't need to be serious, then I won't be serious. Okay. Yes. So I guess like the reason that I'm doing this is I've been making YouTube videos on and off for, I don't know, probably 8, 9, 10 years now, maybe since 2013, 2014. So yeah, about 10 years. And then yes, like I said, moved to Los Angeles 7 years ago, started working in entertainment, and now have done a lot of YouTube stuff and have done a lot of entertainment stuff. I've been in a dozen TV shows. I've been in a dozen commercials. I've been in a bunch of music videos. I've been in a couple films like freaking Spider-Man, No Way Home. It's just an amazing and an insane experience. I can't show any photos of it, unfortunately. And I got to be in Star Wars and the video game that I'm working in now. Like, I'm doing things that I am so proud of that I'm able to be a part of them. And I've now reached a certain level of like professional achievements that I've reached in Hollywood and Los Angeles. And I've also done YouTube. I've had some YouTube videos go really, really, really viral, which truly changed my life. And now I want to find a way to kind of do both. And maybe that's a little naive right now to assume that a person can do two things at a very high level. But at least right now, that's what I want to try to do. And so this is almost like a reintroduction of myself to you guys, almost like we're starting fresh, because the videos that I'm going to make from now on are going to be, they're going to be different in a good way, different in a way that I believe serves me and serves you as the audience. Because what I don't want is I don't want to be known for just one thing, because none of us are just one thing. You know, I used to say I'm an athlete, but that is so, I'm realizing how limiting that is in myself and my identity and my personality. And I would assume that the same is true of you. You are not just one thing. You are not just an athlete or just a musician or just anything. You're not just in anything, a mathematician or a lawyer or a doctor. And so this is me leaning into what makes me unique and what makes me different. And what that is me being me. It is my positivity. It is my energy. It is my athleticism. It is my filmmaking. It is my ability to do stunts. And so I want this to be a reintroduction and to just talk about things that I think are important to me and things that mean a lot, and hope that they connect with you in some way or another. So I've made a list of just like talking points, because there's no way I would remember everything. Okay, yes. So how I got to Los Angeles. I don't know. It's weird. So growing up, I never wanted to be like everybody else. I think I knew deep down that in order to reach the furthest potential of being a human, of being a person on this planet, in order to reach the furthest goals you could get to, in order to do that, you have to be unique. You have to be different. Because if only a few people get there, then if you do what everybody does, then you will get what everybody gets, which is, it is the middle. It is the average. It is not in an offensive way or an attacking way, but just like it is mediocrity, but again, not in a negative way. Like, to be a 1% person. I love this quote. And the quote is something that I don't know if I've ever read this somewhere or if it's just something that I started saying to myself. And what I started saying to myself is, if I want to be a 1% person, I must do what 99% of people will not do. And if I want to become a 1% person, then I cannot do what 99% of people do. So it essentially means I have to, if that is what I want, if I want to be different, if I want to be unique, I must lean into the things that make me different. I must lean into the things that make me unique, and I must do things more than others. I must do them better than others. I must do them for longer than others. I must not quit. All of that is factoring into why I'm doing this right now. So growing up, I think I understood on a fundamental level that I wanted to be great, like the word great, whatever that means, whether that's financial success, whether that's reputational success, or freedom where you can travel and go where you want to go, or do what you want to do, whatever that is, or go teach and inspire other people. I knew that I wanted that kind of life for me. And thus, if I knew that I wanted that, I couldn't do what everybody else was doing. And so growing up, like, everybody would drink alcohol and a lot of people were smoking. And that's something that I immediately said, okay, like, that is what, if most people are doing that and I want above average success, then I cannot do that. So, and this is weird. I don't actually think I've ever said this publicly. My close friends know this. People who know me well know this, but I don't drink alcohol and I don't smoke. I never have. And that I will not attribute that to what I have achieved so far, but it is another way that I'm able to lean into being different or being unique. Was seeing that crowd of people in high school, of everybody getting into alcohol, and realizing that that's not what I wanted, and that I didn't believe that that would lead to the life that I wanted to lead, and just the things that I wanted to achieve. I didn't believe that that was it. Then I did traditional sports. I played soccer, I played volleyball, swimming, and diving, and track and running. I was a big runner in school. And then I found parkour. I found parkour when I turned 16, and truly, that's where I discovered what true passion was. Like, I was good at soccer, I was good at track. I wasn't the best in the world, but I was objectively very above average at these things. And more so running. Running was the best thing that I had ever done. I had to try the least at running to be the best at it. But again, none of these things, none of these sports that I played growing up, track, soccer, swimming, diving, I wouldn't really practice them outside of organized school practice, and yet would still, do well enough in the games and the competitions, etc. When I discovered parkour, this is just me personally, that is when I discovered what true passion felt like. I mean, every single day after school, my friends and I would go home and we would watch parkour tutorials, and we would go try to find spots outside to go try to learn and practice the skills that we were looking at online. And we were making videos of ourselves and taking videos so we could watch ourselves and see how we could get better or do them differently. And it completely took over our life. We were going to events, we were going to gatherings, we were going to competitions, we were doing everything. And then eventually, this was me just pursuing this passion. None of this was planned or intentional. I just fell so in love with this sport and with this movement. Eventually, I became a parkour instructor at a couple different gyms. I started teaching private lessons. I ended up becoming a sponsored athlete. And then other filmmakers on the East Coast started wanting to work with me because they were seeing the videos that I was putting out online, and they were reaching out to me because they were great filmmakers, but they wanted subjects in their videos. And so this was incredible positive feedback. So if we just look at like where self-belief comes from, because so like I said earlier, I've always felt different, or that I wanted to achieve above average things, and thus if I wanted to achieve above average things, I could not do what the majority of people did. And that manifested in things like not drinking, not smoking. I even dropped out of college after my second year because I felt that was like, that felt like the safe option. It felt like the thing that everybody was just getting funneled and pushed to do. Should some people go to college? Yes. Should some personalities and people's and ways of thinking do better and excel and flourish in college? Yes. Was I one of those people? No. And I was lucky and fortunate enough to have a family that believed in what I was doing. They believed in the parkour videos that I was making, in the YouTube channel that I was building, in the videos that I was making with other filmmakers, and just who I had been up until that point. I was lucky enough that my family believed in me such that they let me take a gap year off college, where you just take a break for a year, and that was kind of my trial period. I said, okay, I'm gonna spend one. Wow, this is so crazy for me to think back to this. I'm getting nervous just thinking about it. I talked to my mom, my stepdad. I said, okay, I'm gonna take a gap year off of college, and I'm gonna give this year my everything. I'm gonna make videos constantly. I'm gonna train constantly. I'm gonna travel to competitions and events and meet people, and I'm going to do everything that I can. I'm gonna give this my all. And then I ended up taking a feeler trip to Los Angeles for 1 week just to see, just to feel if I could see myself working in Los Angeles, because the great things that were happening in Virginia where I was living, just from simply me following my passion, again, getting sponsored, having videos go viral online, a commercial company found me and asked me to be in a commercial, and that wasn't even a thing that I tried to do. It just happened as a side effect, as a result of everything that I was doing. And then beyond that, like some newspapers and articles started writing articles and wanting to interview me, and all of that really opened my eyes of what I believed was possible if I continued to double down on this thing, which at that point was parkour and video making. But here's what it actually was. Here's what it actually was. I thought it was just parkour and video making. What it was passion and self-belief. The world, like if we look at how the world works, people who have passion, people who have self-belief, and people who work hard for what they want and they don't give up, those are the people that, quote unquote, win. Because when you have passion for something, you will do it more. You will do it more than other people. When it gets difficult, you will keep going. And when you have self-belief, every time you confront an obstacle, you believe deep down that you can get past it, that you can move past whatever the thing is, whether it's a physical obstacle, not being able to learn a certain trick, or a relationship obstacle and feeling uncomfortable wanting to have a conversation with someone, or whatever it may be. It's the internal response that you have when you're confronted with an obstacle. And there's like, I'm not a psychiatrist, I'm not a psychologist, but it feels like there's two answers. And the two answers are, I can't do this. And then the second answer is, I can do this. Whatever it is, whether it's learning a backflip, getting a job doing something that you love, traveling the world, I don't believe there's anything that would serve a person more than I can do this. And when you love something, it is so much easier to have that instinctual response. So the passion that I had for parkour and making videos and led to an incredible amount of self-belief because I wanted it. I wanted to be good at it. I wanted to be great. And I knew that everything that I confronted would make me better. And I think about this a lot because, again, in making this video that I'm making now, I don't want to be known just for one thing. And the thing that I am currently most known for is parkour and being an athlete. While that is a part of me, it is not my entire identity. And so one of the things that I care so much about is what I'm talking about right now, is mindset, is positive thinking, is good habits, is pursuing your goals and your dreams and making progress and growth and wanting to change yourself to become better. Personal growth, personal development. That is so fascinating to me because at the end of the day, what that means is I am passionate about myself and others getting better, which at the core of it sounds like something that everyone should be interested in. Everyone should want to be healthier. Everyone should want to be more successful. And they get to choose how they define success, whether that's in a career or whether that's in the amount of people that they can help or the stronger that they can become. Like, that is the pursuit of greatness. The pursuit of happiness, I believe, is the pursuit of progress. And so I find this topic so fascinating, and I go, okay, if I've had an above average amount of self-belief my whole life, well, there's a couple different ways that we can look at this. Number one is a person, do they just naturally have a certain amount of self-belief that they're given? And it can be a small amount, a medium amount, or a large amount. And then, based on that amount, other factors come into that life and can either increase it or decrease it. Or is it just the second half, where everybody has the same amount, and then the things that happen in their life, how they're raised, it's always the age-old question of nature versus nurture, of how that person is raised, the environment that they're in, the school that they go to, the friends that they have, the opportunities that are presented to them, if that alone determines how much self-belief a person has. And so, in trying to get to the bottom of where I believe my self-belief has come from, because if people can crack where it comes from, then they can create a cycle that fuels itself, and they can also help find it and stimulate it in other people, whether they're friends or loved ones or children or students, whatever it may be, is finding a way to get to the bottom of self-belief, because that is everything. actions are what determine results. And if you believe that something is possible, you will take action to do it. So if you believe, then that's how you get to do something. And if you don't believe, you won't even try. So like, I believe that the question of self-belief is such a profound and an important one. And so looking at my own journey with self-belief, it is okay. I moved from Virginia, so I moved from Dubai to Virginia. Automatically, my name is Omar Ahmed Zaki. In the United States, that is not a common name. When you're surrounded by John Smiths and Toms and Timmys and whatever else, a name like Omar Ahmed Zaki automatically made me feel a little different. Yes, there were other diverse people around me, but I was more uncommon. So I think immediately it made it easier for me to feel different, and I got to decide the kind of different, whether it was a good different or whether it was a bad different. For me, but again, maybe it's just because of how people responded. Because when I would introduce myself to kids in my school at a young age, they go, "Oh, what's your name?" And I go, "Omar Zaki." And they would say, "Oh, that's not a common name. Where are you from?" And then I would say, "I was born in Dubai." And almost every single time, people would go, "Oh, wow, where's that? Like, where's Dubai? Tell me about Dubai." Which I guess maybe again at a young age, this is conditioning me to feel interesting. So like this is me trying to reverse like analyze my own upbringing to what has now led me to living in Los Angeles, working in commercials and televisions and video games and making my own YouTube videos. I'm really trying to get to the bottom of it because again, I think it's super, super fascinating. Then, so in that alone, already being different or unique by being from Dubai, I was exposed to a lot of different opportunities. I got to play soccer. I got to play violin. I got to be on the swim team. I got to um, to run track, and I was much more naturally inclined to fitness and sports and athleticism. And so then I was doing more sport related stuff. And then in sports alone, the thing I was best at was track. And so I got the opportunity to do the thing that I was naturally best at. And then in being a track runner, who is naturally inclined to be a track runner, again, you get a lot of positive feedback. You're doing well in competitions. People are saying, good job. Your parents are patting you on the back. Maybe you're getting awards or certificates, or you're getting on the varsity team at a young age. All of these things create more self-belief, which again fuels this engine that will create your entire life. So like that's where I was fortunate enough to actually get to do the activity that I was more naturally inclined at doing than I was other activities. Sure, I was good in school. I wasn't great. I wasn't a genius, but I was good in school. But if I hadn't have gotten the opportunity to do track, I wouldn't have known that running specifically was a thing that I was better than average at most people. And so that, again, created this well of self-belief in myself. And then finding parkour and then the positive feedback that I got from doing something different, again, because it's not mainstream. I would tell people, I do parkour, and they would go, oh my God, what is parkour? Or how do you do that? Or can you teach me parkour? It's, again, these are all different versions of positive feedback that reaffirm to ourselves that we are unique, that we have identity, that we have value to other people and to the world. And so just going through that process is what I believe has ultimately led me to, becoming a semi-pro parkour athlete, to making YouTube videos about it, to moving to Los Angeles, to now pursue and work in Hollywood and in entertainment. And I find it so, so, so fascinating to think about. So I will leave this as my final point here is I believe, and again, I am not the most successful person on the planet. I am not the most fit person. I'm not the most talented person. I'm not the richest person. I am not any of these things. So you get to decide whether you think that I am worth listening to based on what you know about me, based on what I've achieved and how I think and the things that I've done and the skills that I've built. You get to decide that. But the way that I think is, I believe that most, if not all, skills can be learned. Therefore, the sooner I start practicing the skill, the sooner I will get good at the skill, and the sooner I will get great at that skill, or I will at least learn the skill. Pretty common basic stuff. But again, it's common basic until a person runs into something where they go, I can't do that. Yet. You can't do it yet because you haven't put in enough time and practice into it. Because I believe that most, if not all, skills can be learned. And I believe a skill that I have cultivated is the skill of not caring. Let me qualify that. All of the most successful people in the world, in everything, athletes, business, leadership, YouTube channels, whatever it is, all of them say you can't care about what other people think. You can't care. But if a person in that moment does care, well, they go, well, I can't just not care because I do care. It's like saying someone like, hey, like, stop being yourself. You're like, I can't be myself. I am myself. Just stop caring right now. It's a little silly if you say it like that. But I believe not caring, which is essentially not letting the potential judgments and opinions of other people hold you back from doing what you want to do, from practicing what you want to practice, from putting yourself out there. That's what that means, is not caring. It's not letting other people stop you from being you. But rather than saying, just don't care what people think, I believe this is actually a skill. And I believe this is something that I have unintentionally practiced. This right here, this is me practicing not caring, aka not letting the judgments or opinions of other people and what I should be doing or who I should be change my behavior or sway me in any way. This is me practicing it right now, and I have been practicing it my whole life. Singing at a traffic light and then someone looking at you funny and then you stopping your singing means that you cared so much about what that other person thought that you stopped doing what you hopefully loved and were passionate and excited about doing. And so, like, this is something that I believe can be practiced. I have practiced it by making YouTube videos for 10 years, speaking to a camera, which is like, it's weird that I'm literally looking at a device right now, but I feel like I'm talking with you because I've completely gotten past that point of feeling like this is awkward. Again, it's a skill that I have worked on. So I've done it by making YouTube videos, by learning new skills like parkour and being okay with looking weird or looking dumb or looking stupid at something because you're practicing the skill of not caring. You're practicing the skill of not letting other people stop you from doing what you want to be doing. If you want to sing, sing. If you want to dance, dance. If you want to make videos of yourself talking to a camera, vlogging, you must do that because that is your passion, speaking. And if you let other people stop you, unintentionally, whether they're saying things to you or not, if you cut that off, it is going to be hard to get, not impossible, never impossible, but it'll be more difficult to lift it open and get back under that thing. Because I think the most tragic thing on the planet is people not doing something that they don't even know that they would be great at if they just went for it. But usually we don't try because we let people, unintentionally stop us. Nobody is actively trying to ruin your dreams. A lot of these things happen either unintentionally or they just happen in our mind. So I just know, and I believe that the only reason I have been able to get to where I am is because I have chosen to continue to practice the skill of not caring. and not letting judgments or perceptions of other people stop me or hold me back from doing what I believe I want to do and things that will take me forward and make me happy and things that I like and enjoy doing. I'm not a great singer, but I sing. I'm not a great dancer, but I dance. And by doing them, you get better at it. That's it. That's it. So my wish for you is to do it. Do the thing, whatever the thing is, or do it more, do it louder, do it bigger, because the world is a big, huge, huge place, and it can accommodate everyone. So none of us need to be small. None of us need to put a lid or put a cap on who we are, how we think, what we believe, what we want to do. And that's something that I still work to try to embody every day. I'm not perfect. But again, it is the pursuit of that which gives me excitement. It is the pursuit of that which makes it all worth it. And then because it excites me, I get to do it more, I get to do it bigger, I get to do it better, I get to do it longer, and then I can achieve the skills and do more with them and build more of the life that I want to live. Because ultimately, I'm not living my life for other people. I'm living my life for myself. And you should live your life for yourself. So, wow, what a conversation. God, if you got to the end, please let me know, and let me know like what resonated most with you about this, because again, I'm super passionate about all these different topics, from self-belief to inspiration to good habits to goals and dreams, and just building a great life. That's what this is. That is what this is. It is building a great life. So if you're into this kind of stuff, if you're into good habits and inspiration and seeking greatness, just seeking something extraordinary, then I encourage you to be a part of this, because that's what I want this to be about. And if we're all a part of this together, then it becomes easier for all of us to grow and be great people and do great things and live the kind of lives that we want to live. So I would love for you to subscribe, and I will see you guys soon enough.